Hopefully this is
Word.
the last pod where this room looks like I'm in a serial killer's closet.
Dahmer.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, folks. All right. We're rolling. Everybody mute. 3, 2, 1. The Everyman Podcast.
The Everyman Podcast.
Another week, another pod. Blessed, highly favored as always, live from Texas and New Jersey. We got a special guest this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Word.
She, pregnant pause, is an entrepreneur, a singer, a photographer.
Yeah.
All around every woman. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tara. Tara, how you doing?
I'm great. Hey.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get it. And as I was alluding there, you are a gal of many hats. Seems like you are quite the creative persona.
Gaggle of hats.
I gaggle. I try.
So if you had to nail down your key feature, how would you introduce yourself? What's your primary there?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, I'm like transitioning to being a not a man, but
hey, allegedly.
allegedly.
I am now an empty nester. So like I'm kind of trying to do a whole bunch of new things.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of don't know who I am right now.
What exactly do you do with all this time that you have on your hands now?
Run around naked.
Always.
Yep.
And
right
but with my CPAP mask on with the hose hanging off.
Of course. Naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, work takes up a lot of my life. And now I'm starting a new pod and just trying to fill my time. It's difficult.
Well, let us set the table a little bit here. And Daryl, Tara comes by way of the Daryl Campbell network of associates. How'd you guys meet?
Daryl.
You want to go up? You want to take it, T?
I don't even remember how we first. I think you emailed me about something you needed for work, and then
Yep.
I don't even know how that conversation got started, but it just became somehow we're like, well, I love Kill Switch Engage and 9 Inch Nails. What about you?
Yeah. So for all of our every men and every women, like, Tara is a workflow specialist here at NFL Film. She's amazing at what she does. She basically makes sure us low-level producers get everything that we need to the tech side of the building. She's a jack of all. She's like she's the Batman to us Robins of the world here at NFL Film. So like, I think there was a project that we're activating on, and it involved, some musical assets, and then metal conversation got sparked, and we found that we were like-minded on many groups, and now we're metal besties. It's she's in the Cosmic Canoe now. It's pretty cool.
I am. It's been a while. He's been bugging me.
Yeah, and bugging. One of those things, Daryl and I, we're equally torn on time. And there's been a couple people where it's like, I'm aware, like Daryl was like, hey, we gotta, and I'm aware of this person forever. I feel like I know them by the time, we finally get together. So it's really it's great to have you on. And, we're going to get to the podcast. We're going to get to all that, but I want to just take it back a second. Daryl, how was your Halloween?
Halloween was pretty ridiculous because we live in Merchantville, right on the border of Pensacola and Merchantville, and Merchantville is known as Monsterville for a very good reason, because everyone in our neighborhood is smitten with Halloween, just smitten with it. So gravestones in the front yard. My neighbor's 2 doors down is 6'5", 6'6", like ripped out of his mind, is probably on roids, and he decides to stand on his front porch stoic like with a Michael Myers mask and the whole get up. just diesel. And he has all of the monsters, zombies / other creatures that are strewn about his front yard on animatronic tracks. So like when the kids come up, they actually respond to their movement and fucking terrorize people. It's amazing, but it's absolutely terrifying. Then he throws the smoke bombs out there, and it's really a scary movie in totality. But my Halloween was awesome, but I'm broke because we had over 1,500 kids affect to our doorstep, and that was about, I don't know, somewhere in the vicinity of like $400+ worth of candy. So some kids out there, you guys got like got a healthy chunk of the check this past week. So yeah,
it was wild here, man. Like I sent you that video. Like,
dude, yours was nuts too.
We were like I got home from work, and it was the same day our Jeep got delivered. So of course I've got this
sick Jeep
auto transport dropping off our Jeep while kids are starting to go, and then I'm looking like a real asshole to our neighbors. And I mean, we had a line. They told like, don't even bother staying in your house. Like, you got to set up a table out front because there's going to be a line.
Oh my God.
I was like, yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
There was a line down our stairs wrapped around the corner all night. Like a fucking line, like a fucking deli line. I thought I was giving out cold cuts. I thought I was going to have to start giving out ammo at a certain point. And we had been buying candy for weeks because we're like, oh yeah, and we only had a little bit left at the end of the night. I'm sitting there, and you know me, bro. I like to chat it up, especially there's 2 times I like to chat it up. When I travel and I know I'm never going to see these people again, or like holiday time. I really I get into it with people, and I love interacting with the kids and like, oh, whoa, spooky Spider-Man, you know, or like I'll pick a random kid and be like, wait a minute, did you already come here? And he'd be like,
right. They do it like 3-4 times. They make like,
I love doing it. I did catch this girl. She came back twice, and she was a little older, and she came back the second time, and I'm like, all right, here's 1 Twix bar.
Yeah.
And she comes back a third time. I'm like, listen, no.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
I don't care how cute you are.
I mean, it's not even a matter of cuteness. First of all, you're too old. You should be happy
that too.
Candy the first time. But like, you're going to come, like, how much candy do you need? It's a little weird. It's a little weird to me.
Right.
But,
right.
So I keep seeing all these kids coming from the left side of our street with hot dogs.
Whoa.
And I'm sitting there, you know, had a quick dinner when I got home, had a sandwich, you know, having a few beers, you know, I'm just enjoying the scene. I'm running the fog machine. I got the music going. Our house looked like Lady Gaga was about to perform. It was fucking wild.
Descending from the rafters.
Right. It was insane. Lights everywhere, tombstones, spooky spiders, you name it. And this like 13-year-old kid, he's got a hot dog, and I give him some candy, and he's like, oh, I love your decorations. I was like, hey, tell you what, buddy, where'd you get those hot dogs? And he's like, oh, your neighbor down there. I was like, do me a favor, go get me a hot dog. There's half of this bowl of candy in it for you. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, go on, beat it. I thought for sure he was never going to come back.
Right.
5 minutes later, here you go, sir. Here's your hot dog. And like, this is the thing about Texas that I love. Like, it happened to me real quick. Was like, everybody, yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir.
Right.
Everyone does it, and it's like it becomes a thing. And then like kids are all like, I guess you get beat here if you don't yes sir, no sir. And it's like having a child who I don't know, a stranger, if you will, just hand me a hot dog. Here you go, sir. Here's your hot dog. What a power trip. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what a fucking,
yeah.
I hooked the kids up with some candy. You know what I mean?
Of course you did.
It was a good time. But then, you know, the weirdest shit. Couple observations. I want to hear you guys' feedback on this.
Yeah.
We're getting to an uncomfortable stage of some of the teen girls that are going around, and what are you wearing? What are you doing? Where are your parents?
Yeah.
Who are these boys?
Yeah.
Now I'm paying attention to all sorts of things, and like then I see these boys coming around, and I'm watching them. I'm like, well, you fucking behave, kid. I will put you in the ground. What's going on here? Like, I was shocked. And then you have that inappropriateness, and then you have like the young moms. This is even more bizarre to me. And it's like she's bringing up her baby, adorable little ladybug. I mean, it doesn't get any sweeter than a little girl, the little pigtails and the bow. She's a ladybug, and then the mom's dressed like a slutty nurse, you know. and you're like, well, so am I attending to you, or am I the sweet little baby?
Sweet little baby. Sweet little baby Jesus.
Do you want candy? It looks like you want candy. I don't know what we're doing here. Did you guys have any?
That sounds like she wanted more than candy.
Yeah. Did you guys?
See, you got a daughter, Jess. Like I'm pretty sure you had to go through that, right? Like the kind of awkward once Jess starts.
No.
No.
I think the most awkward costume that sorry, the guys are all there playing cornhole.
Nice.
I'm missing some cornhole.
Ew.
the Jess's last costume that she like dressed up and trick-or-treated for, she got like a little dress and painted her face like she was a broken dead doll.
Okay. All
So right. Jess was never the I want to flaunt my goodies kind of child.
Well, were you that way when you
no,
were you a goodie flaunter?
No. I was a
Later
sweatshirt wearer, but I did have a Halloween incident. I dressed up. It was like 1998, right?
Okay.
Dressed up as the guy from Scream. Like
with the
right?
The
mask. Okay.
Yeah.
I went out trick-or-treating with my friends. I was like 16, 17. My parents were like, we're going furniture shopping. We're not gonna be back for a while, but you're gonna be out, so whatever. And you don't have anything to carry a key with you, so just trick-or-treat. Like, hey, great, bye. So it started raining and I came back to the house and they weren't there. So I went to the back deck and stood on the doghouse and broke into the bathroom window, and my next door neighbor called the cops. Because the guy from Scream was breaking into the house.
Oh, Jesus.
So that was kind of my last Halloween that I trick-or-treated. I was pretty much done.
Wow.
Yeah, see, in Texas, they'll just shoot you for that. Like, if you're even, I was talking to a police officer recently. If it's nighttime and your lights are out and there's no reason for you to be expecting a visitor, and then like you let your dog out and there's a guy in your backyard, just shoot him. That's basically where we're at here, which is like, yeah. I mean, come on, just stay out of my yard. You'll be fine. It's simple. You gotta be careful here. But Halloween was it was great. And then strangest thing, it's like 10 o'clock, and this car like screeches up. Like we're like packing up. Everybody's lights are off on the street. It was like nuts to butts from 5:30 to about 9:50. We're cleaning up. These parents, these like two adults with like a baby in a young enough to be in a seat in the back seat. They pull up. Hey, y'all still doing candy? No, man. Go the fuck home. Your child should be asleep. It's Monday.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And it's like the way some people get really weird about the candy. Like, are you selling this candy? Like how? Like it's just candy. Everyone's handing out the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did see one of the neighbors with the hot dogs. They gave out 400 hot dogs.
Are you serious?
And it was a good hot dog too. Those are not cheap, man. 400
slanging
hot dogs,
meat out there.
That's like $12 a pack. What, you get 6 hot dogs a thing? I mean, what do you just spend $1,000 on hot dogs?
Dude, that's crazy.
Plus candy?
That's crazy.
It's nuts. Yeah, I mean, everything's bigger in Texas, including Halloween. And I mean, then immediately, the next day, everybody's getting their Christmas stuff set up. We skip Thanksgiving in Texas. We just go Halloween
straight to Christmas.
Yeah, we've already got Christmas trees set up in
Beeline.
It's something else. But I love this time of year. The fall, football's clanging. The Steelers are terrible. Phillies are in the World Series. I can appreciate that. They're greasing the polls. My one favorite thing, and I just want to shout this out to
representing
to my former home base. You could say a lot of things about Philly fans. And I have said a lot of things about Philly fans. And some, depending on your perspective, you think you're either the best, right? Or you think they're the worst. And it's like the Phillies are one in particular where it's like, I remember 2005, 2006, 2007, there being not even 1,000 people at those games. Because I was dating someone that had their family business, had box seats, and their customers didn't even want to go to the game. So we would go to the games like 3 nights a week, hanging out, doing the thing. Nobody there, right? Then all of a sudden, then they're packed and right. And then it's like, even this season alone, no one at the games until
they were so bad.
Yeah, but like no one cared at all. And then they squeaked in and they got hot at the right time, which God bless them. But it's like
Dude.
now everybody's like, go Phillies. It's like you literally didn't watch a game all year. However, when you've got to truck in 8 and as a logistics professional, this is what entertains me. When you got to send 8 53-foot trailers filled with 50-gallon drums of industrial lubricant to grease the poles to keep the people off of them, I like it.
I saw a meme that was, if you don't have to grease your poles, you don't belong in the World Series.
Well,
Like,
you know why?
Facts.
Why they
Facts.
why they grease the poles, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
For anyone, the every man, every woman listening, back when the Phillies won the World Series in 2008, there was a fella that climbed up on Broad Street all the way up, got on top, and then someone threw a tequila bottle at him, hit him in the head, and rest in peace. Let me preface this with a rest in peace. Pregnant pause. The sound that bottle made when it hit this guy in the head is nothing short of comedic. Like it's like a Looney Tunes bit. It's just like boink,
With the echo.
Yeah. And then this guy, like, you see him because it knocks him unconscious, and then he falls and tragically passes away. So they're trying to eliminate any more
scaling of the
Broad
poles.
Street deaths.
All it's done is encourage it.
When you're talking,
everyone's trying to climb them now because
and now
like,
it's
if
like
I could do it now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Look
It's
at
like,
me.
oh, you don't want me to climb the poles? You're going to grease the poles? I'm going to climb the pole.
Right. Say I can't do something, want to do it.
It's like a squirrel when you do that and you don't want them to get to the bird food.
Yeah, they're just going to keep going.
All it is comedy for the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
To the Philadelphia faithful, just be careful when you're climbing those poles. Wear a helmet. Wear a helmet if you have to.
Wear a helmet.
Be safe. Wear a helmet. Don't climb those poles.
I mean, you're gonna pop off. And then you got the World Series and the Eagles game there tonight. It's absolutely
right. See, you got to just wear both.
Boom.
doubled up.
Doubled up.
Years ago, I went to a Philadelphia Phantom. Do they still have the Phantoms? Is that still?
No. Well, they're not Philadelphia, right? DC. They're like they moved them out in
You talking about
PA
the
somewhere.
You talking about the football?
No,
No, the
football?
Phantoms. So like the Flyers.
They were really popular. They were
They
like,
moved, so they're not considered the Philadelphia.
Oh,
Phantoms.
well then somebody.
I think they play in Allentown or something now.
Gotcha.
But anyway, like the Phantoms, they were really popular. I actually went to a few games. They were good. They won their championship, whatever. But I remember there was a guy at a game that had a two-way hat, like two brims. The front was the Phantoms and the back was the Flyers, and he'd flip it around.
Just flip it around.
I've never seen one since, and I remember this from when I was a child.
Dude.
I think this would be the perfect time to Phillies and Eagles.
Yeah, get that flip hat going. Just duel it up.
You just double up,
and it also,
whoever needs the good juju, that's the one I have out.
You just flip it.
Yes.
Flip it around.
It also makes me think, like, the Phillies have a great color scheme and their uniforms are great. The Eagles should be that color. I think there should be a rule. Every team in the city, they should all have the same colors. Like, that's what I love about the Pittsburgh. Everybody's got the black and yellow in some capacity. Because you got the Phillies with the red, white, and blue, the Sixers, red, white, and blue, and the Eagles, red, white, and blue Eagles would be badass.
That would be kind of cool.
That
would be kind of cool.
I'd love to see that.
It's hard to kind of differentiate it now because they've been a different this color for so long. So it's like
well, they're finally bringing the Kelly Green back. Thank you.
Yeah.
This color's been. I remember when they brought this color in. It's been 97. I mean, it's so long.
Nice.
It's so long. So Tara, tell me about your musical history. I know you're a singer. I checked out some of your work.
Jersey girl Tara on the track with
Papa Dough.
Everybody just get the flow.
Everybody just get the flow.
Everybody just get the flow.
Everybody just get the flow. Get the flow. The morning comes, the clock won't stop. Get the flow.
So what are you doing? Are you still making music?
No.
Short answer, no.
That window has closed.
Come on, talk about the window. You were a lead singer of Bavaria.
Well, I mean, it started way younger than that, right? So I was a classically trained flautist.
Ooh.
It all kind of happened accidentally, I think. I played in the marching band when I was in high school. And then I was the drum major of the marching band.
What?
So like I was the head geek. I know you're all blown
Hey,
away.
life is full of hierarchies. If you're not at the top of wherever you are, you're not doing it.
Right. Like what's the
If you're
point
going to be in
in
the
doing
marching
it?
band, be the fucking.
You may as well be the director.
Yeah.
That's
As long
what
as long as you're not the tuba player.
Yeah.
we did have a tuba player that fell down all of the bleachers once
course
in a
they
game
did.
because
Of
it was
course they
wet,
did.
but like with
course.
the tuba on.
Yes.
Oh,
That was fun.
Again, this is what happens to
Was he still lockstep with the band, even though he was clanging
No, he
off
was
of
just
each?
trying to get down the bleachers.
Oh,
He
no.
wasn't even doing anything special.
that guy's probably been in therapy ever since that.
Oh yeah.
His name was Todd.
Todd,
His name was Todd.
Yes.
Todd, I'm praying for you.
And,
Oh my gosh.
So I did that, and then I played in a symphony from there. And I actually know Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones because I played his cousin's wedding, and I met
What?
him before he was famous. Yeah, so 6 Degrees of Separation. You guys know everyone from Game of Thrones.
Nice.
Fun fact.
Nice.
Then I went to school for audio production, and the person that ran the symphony I was in had a record label, and I had to do some like internship work. I was helping them out, and I also at the same time was hired. I was paid $50 to just do some audio for a guy who was trying to sell his music, and a singer was going to come in, and surprise, she didn't show up. So he was like, can you just like carry a tune? I was like, well, I mean, I played an instrument, so like, I'm going to do it. Are you going to pay me? So
There you
I
go.
made $75 instead of my little 50. And I thought it was hysterical. And I brought it with me when I was interning. And 2 weeks later, they gave my parents a record contract. I
Whoa.
was like, okay, so I don't really know about that. And I started making an album with that guy that I was working with. And then before they got him signed and locked down, he took all of the tracks we did with my vocals and sold them. So the whole record went done. Like a lot of work down the drain.
A tale as old as time.
Yes.
The old
yes.
sneaky producer. See, this is the thing. Like, I wish I'm so like, as somebody who went through the system and got to a certain point and then saw the mirror behind the curtain, that happens to so many people.
Oh yeah.
Like, especially that whole idea of like, oh, I'm in a studio. I've never been in a studio. Oh, here's a contract. Let me sign this. And in reality, it's like, you don't need to sign this. You shouldn't sign.
Right.
This is ridiculous.
I mean,
you
what
just
I
think-
signed, I was
you
happy
think-
with what I signed. My deal was actually really great. I mean, I never spent a penny. I showed up when I was told to. I did I worked hard. And this kid, they were getting his contract set up, and it's like he knew. Well, they already started doing some work. And when he started selling stuff, the label was like, nope, we got to back off. All of this is garbage now. So then I ended up getting married. I had my daughter, and like years later, my friend's boyfriend at the time, he made beats, but they were only like 20-second loops, minute loop, whatever.
Aren't
And I was
they?
like, these are cool. I feel like maybe I could do something with this. So I brought it back to the record label. I had been doing backup vocals on albums for some of their other artists just because I had a contract. And, you know, if they asked me, I'm like, sure, whatever. Like, I signed a deal with you. You've been really great with me. You haven't come after me because of anything that's happened. So of course. And I brought them these loops and we broke them down. And then I wrote that whole album. And yeah, that was interesting. They brought the rapper in from Miami. We hung out for like all of 3 days, made 2 music videos. It was like hi, I've never met you before. Let's pretend that we're in love with each other and sing songs.
What was the name of your band? What was the name of the group?
It was just me. I was a solo artist.
Just Tara.
I was Tara Day.
Nice.
Yeah, look how it's
Yeah.
spelled. 2 R's. Very, very edgy.
I see you
Yeah.
moving. I want you.
I want you to.
The crowd is transparent. Come to me.
I thought I was cool and shit.
Oh, I mean,
I love it.
sure.
But I
Love
mean,
it.
it was definitely, I wrote all my lyrics. Every song I wrote on, and it was.
You could have taken it one step further and gone by Tara, you know?
Well, I mean, what's interesting
Tara.
is I've been to like Ireland, and my name
Put
is
in a-
apparently
put in-
pronounced Tara.
Put in a
Or
like
real.
put an
Tarara.
apostrophe in there.
Oh yeah,
Like
Ta-
Tara.
Tara.
Tara. Yeah.
Like ta-da,
Yeah.
but not.
Ta-da. Like
Ta-ra, ta-ra.
Ta-da, ta-da.
It's me, Tara.
You zip up,
Trumpets playing when
you
I
zip
come
up into
out.
the skies. Ta-ra.
So yeah, I mean, it was a very fun experience. I met amazing people when the album got mastered. I got to go when it was being mastered in Manhattan and hang out with Paul Goodrich, who is responsible for the John Lennon catalog, and that was just incredible. I had no idea. It's in his office was in the Actors Equity Building. So like, I think Jack Nicholson was like just coming out as we were going in, and it was one of those, where are we? What's
Yeah.
happening? I'm in a new world. I don't know. And listening to his process and what he was doing, and he'd turn around and he'd be like, do you like Nine Inch Nails? I'm like, how are you getting that from pop music? Yes. Like he could pick out every single one of my musical influences. It was a great experience. It didn't really sell. Clearly, I'm here. So again, tale as old as time. And I think that the moment when we were in the studio working, and they had all like books on a wall all behind where I was sitting, when like I do my work and then I'm just sitting there waiting, they're doing whatever, hurry up and wait. And I pulled a book off the shelf, and it was about, making a record. I don't know who the author was. I open it up, first line on the first page, you have a better chance of being hit by lightning than making a hit record. I was like, okay then.
But this is the thing though. The reason why you have a better chance of getting hit by is because their fucking thumb is on the scale and it's completely corporate and controlled. Like there's one channel to the top and it revolves around somebody else owning the whole thing. And it's
Right.
not, the whole system isn't really set up for people to like make it. It's set up
Right.
for them to choose who they're going to allow to get to the next level and entertain them for a certain amount of time. And then when they get tired, they're going to kick them to the side, and then their careers fall
Right.
apart. I mean, look at how many, pop music is a perfect example of that. Like, look at somebody like Britney Spears, who was like, you can't imagine somebody being more famous, more, I mean, she was like on Saturday Night Live and MTV, when MTV mattered, like all these things, like she was everywhere,
MTV was
Yeah.
MTV.
and
Prolific.
and you would think that there's some staying power there, but like, no, she's just thrown to the wolves. Somebody like Madonna, look what Madonna's having to do to stay like a hint of relevant.
Yeah.
Like, she's like doing the most absurd shit, and like respectfully, she looks wild now.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to respect any of that.
And,
I'm going to
no,
tell
I
you
don't
right
wanna be
now,
accused of body shaming, but like, good fucking
No.
lord, what are you doing to your face?
Madonna looked
My goodness.
phenomenal when she did the album with Ray of Light on it.
Well,
Like
that-
she was
20
embracing,
dude,
right?
that
but
was
she-
1997 though,
But she was embracing her age.
because
she looked really great. And then she started doing whatever she's doing to her face.
Yeah.
this is what
And
they-
it's worse.
they
I think
start-
she looks worse.
they put all that filler in to like,
Right.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
and it's like you look
she
like
needed
an-
to let it go.
she looks like an alien, and it's
Yeah.
like concerning, and it's also like, man, you're trying so hard to be
Right.
edgy, and you're 70, like it's kind of gross.
Oh yeah.
Cher's another
yeah.
one. I don't know what they're doing to
Ah!
Cher,
Yep.
but she looks. But no, have you seen her lately?
I don't care. She's
they're
Cher. She can do
embalming
whatever
her.
she wants.
I'm just saying, she's like living embalmed. It's wild.
Right.
Oh.
When the world ends, there will be cockroaches and shit.
Sure, yeah, her
And that's
hair,
great.
her hair is going to be just fine. Yeah,
All of it's going to be perfect.
But there's so much in that whole entertainment industry that's so bizarre that other people outside of it, you just have no context. And like one of the first things that Daryl and I bonded over was we were sharing war stories of like me working my way through the music business and Daryl working his way through the NFL. And we were like, oh, that's what it is. We're both in the entertainment business. Professional, you can call it
Right.
professional football, whatever you want. It's the
It's
entertainment.
entertainment.
business.
Yeah.
And it's the same business model. It's the same thing. It's the same. We're going to pick who's going to, who's going to get the shot, who gets to stay, who's worth the trouble, who's not worth the trouble. Like, oh, well, he got 10 sacks. Yeah, but he broke his girlfriend's orbital bone. Ugh, like
Right.
there's some of these special little treats
I think pop
entertainment
music
gets away with.
Pop music is very interesting to me because I found when we were in the studio working, I almost felt like you're trying to predict the future. So it was this conversation of like, we're making this now, but by the time it's mastered and it comes out, we're kind of guessing. So this is what people might want a year and a half from now. And that also, I think people don't realize that when any musician is making a record, you're hoping that what you're doing is going to strike a chord in another year.
Right. Which is why when that's their business model, it's smarter to have 10 to 20 songwriting studs that just handle all the work. And like, there's a handful of people that write all the big hit songs. And like, as a musician and like somebody who breaks music down, like, it's hard for me to listen. I'm not like a hater where like, pop music's too popular for me. Like, shit, there's some Lady Gaga Poker Face or Paparazzi. There's some songs, like some pop songs that every now and then I'm like, God damn, it doesn't matter. That is a catchy tune. That would be popular now. It'd be popular in the 50s. Like, that is a popular song. I get it. I get why that's popular. But then when like my team in the warehouse, I'll have them like, hey guys, put some music on. I don't care, whatever, and like, I'll come out and I'll hear like some of this music. I'm like, what is this shit? This is all that they're doing the same thing. It's all in the same key. It's the same vocal pattern. It's the same. Hip hop is turning into that now, where it's like everybody's doing the exact same pattern. And like as a drummer, like somebody who studies rhythm, like I hear the rhythm in the words and the rhyming, and it's like you're all doing the same thing. And I get it. It's popular. You want to keep it going, but that's why like the guy Jack Antonoff, who writes for what's her name, Lana Del Rey and Taylor Swift and Beyonce and Lizzo, like he writes for literally every female pop star right now, and that's why they're all sound the same. And then like every now and then you get like a Billie Eilish who pops up and like she's got her own production, so it's
got her own thing
and unique, and it's like, okay, again, that's another one where I'm like, I'm not a hater. Like I hear that and I'm like, I get why this is popular, but it's different. Then next thing you know, like it's like right now, the early 2000s, Amy Winehouse, the crooner thing, and then every young girl now that like if you go on Twitch and you go into music and you just go through like every girl performer, they all are either trying to sound like a combination of Amy Winehouse or Adele or like Taylor Swift. Like that's the archetype for female vocalists now, is like this the low timbre crooner vibe, and it's like it's cool, but like when everybody's doing it, it's not special. You
know what other album is all in the same key? Besides, I think
just
mine.
like every
so Bob Dylan's Christmas album. Don't know if anyone's heard that. He actually attempts to like sing, not do the Bob Dylan thing, and every song is in the same exact key, and he is singing totally not in that key whatsoever.
Did you ever see the clips? You remember the We Are the World video?
Yes.
So somebody made on YouTube like where they zoomed in on Bob Dylan's face. It looks like he just ate like 500 grams of edibles, and he's he's sweating and he's all wide-eyed and looking around. And he's like, you could tell he's like, I shouldn't even be here. What the fuck's going on? Like he looks like he's high, and he's just like, and like every now and then he's like,
can we like find that and play it without sound somewhere?
Dude, it's going to be found.
Yes.
Daryl's really good at finding I'm really good at memories from 20 years ago.
You're like Miss Cleo, bro. Like you're like Miss Cleo. It's crazy.
Miss Cleo. Speaking of Miss Cleo, she went to like federal prison for racketeering.
Dude, who's the father of the baby? Like, yeah, she's crazy.
She wasn't even Jamaican.
She wasn't. Call me now.
You know how many like suburban white kids thought that's what a Jamaican accent was just because of Miss Cleo? Like, I feel like I've been lied to. I thought not even Jamaican.
She didn't even have like tarot cards. They were like regular cards. She was flipping over.
Just playing cards
from a deck. Like,
she embezzled like $3 million or something crazy. Yeah, There's another one, Miss Cleo.
And they weren't even. It was like a, what is that? Piccolo. What is that? Different card deck that isn't all the right cards, or it's double certain amount of cards. She had that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like those cold readers. They're like, somebody has an aunt. And here, somebody had an aunt that died. Margaret. And Aunt Margaret. No, Sister Margaret. That's me. And you're like, I
know she's here right now. Margaret is here right now. She wants you to give her 3 easy payments of $9.99.95.
I'll get out my Skip-Bo cards and I'll read you her.
I got my Uno deck. I got my Uno deck right here. Yeah.
Margaret wants me to have your wallet.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
Margaret wants you to pay $399 for this session. I'm going to connect you to. Like, I feel bad for those people because they're just searching for answers. But like, when you, this is a whole nother podcast. But when you have some sort of spiritual grounding in your life, you know, like a belief system, a core value system, if you will, that that kind of answers some of those things for you. You're not looking for grifters to calm you, because I'm just like, I'm going to pay you $500 to what? Communicate with my dead great grandfather? Get the fuck out of here. What's like, if my great grandfather is dead and sentient and he's coming to tell me about, he should be doing other things. If I had that kind of power, I wouldn't be going to warehouses to tell, you know what I mean? Like,
my dead great grandfather could give you a message. He's going to slap me for paying you $500
right
to do this.
Yeah. Somebody from the Depression era really thinks this is a good use of money. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Golly. Yeah, it's there's no shortage of schemes and scams out there. Now, I know you've got a new podcast coming, and you mentioned you had one before. I listened to your teaser. It's going to drop it in here now.
I'm back. That's right. I know you missed me. I have a new pod coming your way very soon. Not very soon, in a couple months. But it's going to feature intriguing guests talking about whatever we feel like, which means you cannot miss an episode. We're going to keep you on your toes. And spoiler alert, I have a new co-host. You all are going to love her. I adore her, so I don't know how anybody else couldn't. The new season is going to drop January 15th on Spotify. But don't worry, we're going to have teasers coming your way over the next few months, so you won't have to wait that long until you're graced with our beautiful voices.
What's up with your podcast? Tell us a little bit about your podcast.
So it's she said all the things. So it's going to be myself and my lovely co-host Lisa, who is absolutely hilarious.
I never in all my life found a filter on Snapchat that actually made me look the way I feel. This is the first. I mean, this nailed it.
My God, I'm in the bathroom and I'm trying to poop.
Oh, it's like really dark. I'm at Jane's football practice and I have the car off. My windows are down, so I don't want to be too loud and I don't want my flashlight to go off. But there's these two kids that keep going over to the fence near the playground. And they keep trying to steal a sign. And I keep turning around saying, I see you. And I've scared the shit out of these kids twice. The first time I said, put that back. And he did. And his friend threw him right under the bus. He's like, Nikki, why are you taking that? And they just tried to take it again. I guess they thought I left. And I was like, I still see.
So we're just like two moms who we kind of don't really fit the mom mold. We're definitely the moms that are like when your kid falls down and you're like, is there blood? No, Kat, you're good. Move on. Like we're just those moms that the moms kind of tell us we're bad moms. I don't know how else to put it. But we're not.
They had a movie called Bad Moms, right?
Right. We're like them. Like we love our kids, but at the same time, like you need to, like, you can't helicopter, right? And now that seems like that's the thing. And it's like, well, they're gonna grow up and leave one day and they gotta be able to function. So I mean, can't do everything. So we're just gonna bring like our little breed of crazy. to everybody. It's
Love
kind of like we're gonna be like the Seinfeld or I don't know, Curb Your Enthusiasm of podcasts.
Podcast about nothing.
Really, we have like we're just gonna talk. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and
Natural moments strung together.
yeah, we're just nonsense when we're together. So
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. It sounds like if you've made it this far into this episode of the Everyman Podcast, I think you're gonna like what Tara has to
Hurrah!
has to say on the podcast here. Now, is this one of those ladies only podcasts?
no, we're gonna have guests, and I don't care who they are. I could meet like a homeless person and be like, "What are you doing, dude? Come on, I'll make you one of the. I'll have Jay send me a hot dog from
I'll
Texas
tell you what.
for
That might be a fun.
Yeah, dude.
Might be a fun spin-off podcast where you just bring on a homeless guy.
like someone you don't even know. And
Rando.
it could be terrible, but that could be what's
That
great
could be
about it.
part of
I
it.
mean,
That could be why it's great.
right.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to try things. You got to try new things. Now I want to talk to you a little about music. I was reading your list of artists that you like, and immediately I'm seeing. Seems like you were a real good time in the '90s. There, 9 Inch Nails, Tool. You know,
Yes, I was.
Soundgarden. It sounds like you had some fun times. Are you still? I'm a big Tool fan. Are you still into Tool?
So I like Tool. I also like A Perfect Circle. Right. So when he
one of
kind
those, Tool was better than Gal.
Tool, yeah. Like I really liked them in the 90s. I haven't really gone with it. My music taste has actually changed a lot. I don't know if it's called evolving. I guess it is. But I don't know that it's evolved to like better. I think it might have evolved to like.
Who determines better?
Listen, DC, when I sent you that song and you were listening to it and you texted me and said, "What the fuck am I listening to?"
What song was it? What was it?
Dude,
God.
I don't even know what the name of the song was, but trust me when I say this, Jay.
Was it terrible?
Oh my!
Send it
was-
to me. Now I need to know what it was.
It was. Is it in your? Is it still in your thread? Is it in your thread?
I can just send it from my Spotify to you guys on a text.
Yeah,
It's actually like it's weird. It's just a weird song. I think I've gotten more into this like
send it to
weird.
me right now. Send it to me right now. We're gonna do something we've never done here in the. We're gonna
Let's do it. Let's go for it.
Ooh.
We're gonna give it to the Everyman and the Everywoman. We're gonna let them.
Are we allowed to do that?
We're gonna give it to him raw.
We can do whatever we want. YouTube
Pause.
will complain, but fuck YouTube. Just kidding. Just kidding.
We love you, YouTube.
Love you,
We love you so much.
I love you, man.
We love you so much, YouTube.
I have to say that the
Don't
reason
block
that
us.
that I sent this to him was only because of the last like minute of the song, and I'm like, dude, this would be like epic for something for Hard Knocks.
Yeah, for like-
or-
yeah,
I mean, we
for like
work at the NFL.
NFL
Like, I was
films, yeah.
thinking that was what really caught me, but the whole beginning of it is just like a dumpster fire.
Play
And you
the
just gotta
beginning.
get to that
All right.
last minute.
Play the beginning.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the DMA, the most fun a boy can have without ripping his skin off. I'm my cry wolf. I'm already
I'm already sweating right now.
I'm already concerned. Here we go.
Is this the pregnant pause? Okay.
It is.
Nice little piano intro. It's about to take a turn.
The chorus is really.
I can tell just by the face tattoos. This is gonna be good.
I wanna show you something. Rain fall in my head.
Nice mix in the headphones here.
Wait for it.
Hang on.
Thunder and souls and sobbing. She's getting in my DNA.
Okay.
I swear you lost me.
I see. There's a lot going on here. Now, this is something you listen to?
Yeah. Well, just this song of theirs.
All right. There's a lot going on here.
So much.
But it's really the last, like, what, minute 30?
Yeah,
That's like epic, and it's actually really good, and it turns into a whole different genre of music.
I can see where it's going, and
No, you can't though, DC, right? The end.
When you get to that last, what is it?
Minute
40
and a
seconds?
half.
What, right, minute and a half. It's good, but the thing is, I listened all the way up to that point, and by the time I got there, I was like, I need to take a break before I engage in what's normal. So it's yeah.
I can see how your musical tastes led you there. That's interesting. That's an interesting tune. I'm not a hater, but there's a lot going on there. There's a lot. It's like, hey, you know what'd be sick? Trumpets right here on top of the trap beat, and then let's bring it around and let's have the vocal mix pan back and forth.
And at the end,
Let's make it feel like you're crazy. Yeah,
there are monks
singing at the end.
Monks do come into
Like-
play.
Hey, let's close it out with a little Gregorian chant. This will be perfect. We're gonna really hit everything here.
Yep.
See, this is the interesting thing where we're getting to in music, where everything is kind of pooling all together into one genre of music, and some of it's for the better and some of it's not. And like, for example, like country music never resonated with me at all, ever, period. Like I was actually a full-on hater. And then like we moved to Texas, and then we were driving through Arkansas, and I had just been in Nashville, and our boy, shout out to Dusty Waring and Between the Buried and Me, seeing them this Sunday. He was like, hey, listen, you got to check out this guy Hardy. I know you're not into country, but this is fucking sick. This guy's like a metalhead and he does country. And then you listen to it, I'm like, holy shit, this is heavy as hell. It's got good it's storytelling. It's got instruments, which is a good step in the right direction.
Gotta have instruments.
And it's like, and then all of a sudden now I'm running this warehouse. I'm working hard. I got a 12-pack in the passenger seat. I'm working my ass off all week, and now I get it. I get the country music. You know what I mean? So like sometimes something's not for it. That's why I tried to change my when I talk about music, I try to say that's not my thing right now. I don't get it. Tool is a perfect example. People have been throwing Tool at me forever, and I was just like, nah, I like Dream Theater. It's too slow and boring. Then I got a little older, a little more mature with my musical taste, and I was like, oh, I get it. I finally get it now. Meshuggah's another one. Didn't get it for years, and then finally it sinks in. So like sometimes, I try to say like, that's not my thing. I'm saying this right now, not my cup of tea right now, but who knows? Give me another 4 years. I could be all over DNA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be all over that. Yeah. Who knows? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But yeah, that's interesting. But it's got that little industrial. There's some emo. Like this is the
right.
Somehow
dub in there.
The emo kids met up with the like the hip hop kids, and they put it together, and then they stole the trap beats and.
Right. I think for me, that's like the culmination of all of the music I listen to, and then the end is like classical. So that song covered all of the base. That's like the last 20 years of my life in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
that's
not
really
easy
what
to
it
do.
put that song.
Thrown in together.
I mean, it's like, okay, so like favorite song of all time, and I get crap for this all the time, is November Rain by Guns N' Roses.
Great song.
I feel
who gives
that
you shit? Who gives you shit about that song?
like everyone that said, what? Good November Rain. I'm like, that is one of the most well-written songs from beginning to end. I mean, like, and studying classical music, there's movements. It's a rock song with movements. It reminds me a lot of like what Queen would do. And I don't know why that isn't on more people's lists for like one of the top songs ever written.
It's because culture, much like the rest of our society, has slowly but surely been watered down to its most base form. So we're going to get to the point where it's like Idiocracy, and it's like, oh, you get kicked in the nuts. You know?
So with
Dude, you got darts in your neck.
I fell off this pole. It wasn't greased. It wasn't my fault.
And I'm telling you now, like you think having a president that was a former reality star was bad? I'm promising you, 30 years from now, there's going to be a president who had an OnlyFans. Okay. And everyone is going to have
Yeah.
Everyone is going to have seen our president's butthole, and it's
I've seen my president's junk,
and it's
I don't like it.
Not even the junk, Daryl. I'm not.
I don't like his junk.
We've escalated. It's like, oh, a dick pic leaked. Oh, oops, everybody's seen his penis. No. I'm talking about you're going to know what the president of the United States' butthole looks like.
If he bleaches his asshole,
right. If
we're going to know.
If it's wax, whatever it is, you're going to know. And that's where we're heading there. We're heading in that direction.
Can you imagine the chat? Man, can you believe our president's foreskin, what it looks like? Oh my God. Like,
my God, he's not circumcised. I'm not voting for an uncircumcised president.
No way.
That's where we're headed. So, I hope everybody had a real good time because we're done. It's over.
I'm going to go drink a Snapple after this.
Yeah, light a cigarette. It's over. It's, we're headed for some interesting times. Now, when is your podcast season 2 starting?
Well, we decided January 15th because we need to get like some episodes under our belt. I want to have like a backlog.
Nice.
So that, we're getting into our busy time at work. And Super Bowl will be coming up. And if there's a week I can't do anything, it's nice to kind of just have stuff in the bank. And we aren't going to be like, it's not going to be like straight live. So I'm just going to consolidate it to a 30-minute episode. So while we're talking nonsense, you only have to listen to 30 minutes of our mindless nonsense before you move on.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Everyone is welcome.
Yeah. That's good. And then when, so January 15th, the episodes come out, it'll be on where's
everything. We're on iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Spotify. We're on all of the things. So
you have
like the podcast, all the things.
Yep. All the things.
Now, what is the one takeaway you want the every man and the every woman to have from the Tara experience?
So hang
on. Is it too late to change the name of the podcast to the Tara experience?
You can.
Yeah. The ship has sailed.
You've already made the graphics.
Like art is done, thumbnails are done, everything is.
But you can still have that in there, like if you have a good podcast at the end, you can just say "Tara" and then it'll be good.
Ta-da!
I'll cut that out and sample it for you and send it over.
So I think the one takeaway that I would want people to have, just in general, is don't stop learning about yourself. I think it's been very important for me in my life. I worked at one job for a long time. I wasn't happy, stopped my job, went back to school. My goal was to work at NFL Films. 40 years old, starting a new job at NFL Films, never too late. Kids moved out, they're in college. I'm learning. I feel like I'm finally learning who I am, and it's never too late for that.
That's awesome.
So just keep doing it.
I love that. And I think that's, couldn't be any truer and true to the Everyman podcast. Everyman podcast motto of shining your light. And clearly you shine your light. You shine your light on us today and the Everyman and the Everywoman. And it's been a pleasure having you on. I think I'm going to speak for Daryl here and say this is not the last time you're going to grace us with your presence.
Yeah, I mean, I think I should be your every lady.
Every lady. Oh, every lady.
Every lady will be here every once in a while.
Every lady.
Yeah, I think I like that. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm looking forward to this podcast. I'm going to subscribe to. I'm going to give it a listen. I'll be there January 15th, hot and ready like Little Caesar.
Oh yeah,
my podcast app. And
I think we should do a little combo action.
Yeah, I think.
Foursome.
Yeah. Hey, whoa!
Combine.
Grease those poles down, boy.
Greasing poles.
Grease those poles down.
Tara, honestly, great. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks,
no problem. Thank you for having me.
Light with us here, and all the links to Tara's music and the links to her podcast are going to be in the show notes below. So make sure you swipe up, check that out. Subscribe to the Everyman Podcast if this is the first time you're checking it out. Check us out on YouTube. Hit the bell, hit the like, do the thing. Call your mother, kiss your dog.
Yep.
We love y'all. We'll see you next week.